Hello, hello, hello. You are tuning into another episode of The Wunderkind Show. Today's second topic, first take, not holding up their standard. And you know what I mean by standard. The standard in which they have held themselves to such high regard in tearing down Lamar Jackson. Now look, I'm a proponent of this. If you're equal across the board, I have no problem in the way how you're going to dissect or critique players. If you're equal across the board, right? Now, all of us seen, right, where they were asking and saying that Lamar Jackson has not lived up to or given the Ravens what they've paid for thus far this season. That's what they said. They were questioning, he hasn't lived up to what they paid it for. He's been, the fumbles. I know that they dropped the ball, but still, he needs to figure out a way to win. That's what they were saying. I know you guys remember it, right? And like I always say, they'll show you the hypocrisy. Oh! Every chance that they get. So what do we get to see? Justin Herbie, on live television in front of everybody in prime time, right? Fumble and do all the crap that he does once again, throwing a game-stealing interception to end the game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Colin Cowherd, and I'm going to play Stephen A. Smith. I think I'm going to play Stephen A. Smith first, and then I'm going to play Colin Cowherd. I'm going to show you the difference in what they sound like when it's Justin Herbert. Look who they blame the loss on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play these and then we're going to break it down, all right? So here we go. Check this out.
7.6% of his dropbacks were pressured. He completed 33% of his passes at the time, which was not impressive at all. Actually, 41% of his passes wasn't impressive at all. We get all of that. I'm looking at these close games that the Chargers have lost this season. He hasn't been able to close a deal. And Jeff Saturday, I'm just one of those dudes. I just believe that he doesn't have the right coach. I'm not a huge fan of Brandon Staley at that job. I think Sean Payton is going to regret the day he didn't stay at Fox Sports and wait right there in California, in LA, or Pico Boulevard. Should have waited until this job opened, and then he would have been a perfect complement to Justin Herbert. I don't think that is Brandon Staley. I don't even think that is Kellen Moore, to be quite honest with you. I thought that he was a bit flummoxed. Kellen Moore was a bit flummoxed last night. Let's not forget him as a narrative here coming into this
Everybody
game.
but Justin Herbert.
Coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys, who had the Chargers averaging 5 more points per game than they did last season, while the Cowboys were averaging 5 less points per game in his absence since last season. That Kellen Moore showed up last night, and the Dallas Cowboys defense rattled them to some degree, primarily due to the pressure that they was able to apply to Justin Herbert. But this is a big dude with a strong arm who was considered one of the elites in the game. We've seen a lot from Justin Herbert this season. What we have not seen is consistent elite play. Shannon, Jeff, there's been a fall off. Maybe it is because of the injury, but maybe it's because of the system. Maybe it's because of the coach. Maybe it's because your defense is so porous it puts you in a situation where you got to play hero ball and try to come to the rescue. I don't know. Y'all know that better than me, but I know results. And what I expected from Justin Herbert coming into the season, with the Chargers literally challenging for AFC West supremacy, that narrative is gone. We don't see that from them.
So look, you see how he's ready to blame everybody, everything, coaching, defense. He's asking them like, man, y'all know that better than me, but it got to be something, right? He's big. He has a strong arm. Going back to the tropes. You can only hide it for so long. He's big. He's strong. He seems smart. It's a no-brainer. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it full circle. I love bringing things full. You know Nitro love bringing things full circle, man. You know how I am, man. Y'all know how I am. So I'm going to bring it full circle with Colin Cowherd, and then we're going to end it, and we're going to talk about what we're going to talk about. All right, so here we go.
And I didn't think he played great last night. We'll talk about that in a second. Ask yourself one question. Take away your opinion right now. One question. Do quarterbacks get aided by head coaches? Do head coaches matter for quarterbacks? I don't know. Jared Goff was a bust, and then Sean McVay arrived.
Remember all the excuses they made for Greg Roman?
Singletary.
Okay.
Alex Smith with Harbaugh. Two different players.
Tua
with Brian Flores had a passer rating of 87.
Bringing up Tua.
With Mike McDaniel, it's over 105.
Context, here's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
To Dungy. And basically almost every quarterback Kyle Shanahan has ever had. Justin Herbert has had Anthony Lynn fired and Brandon Staley, who Charger
he got
fans
them fired.
Fired.
He got them fired.
And yet, Pro Bowl Offensive Rookie of the Year, playoff appearance in the AFC in a division with Mahomes, and he's 500.
Barely 500.
Anthony Lynn and Brandon Staley. Last night, running for his life.
He's running for his life.
Finger, left hand.
Oh, left hand's hurt a little bit.
He lost 20-17 in a virtual road game to a team.
A virtual road game at home.
Games the last 2 years.
Let me tell you something right now. He called it a virtual away game when the Chargers were at home. They blamed everybody. He has an offensively stacked team. The question becomes, how much more does he need? He puts his defense in bad position because he gives 3 and out. Then his defense has to keep going out there. When they finally start giving up points, then they start, running up tempo and getting back some of the points. That's the predicament that he stays in. We are talking about a quarterback. Remember they brought up the playoff game. He was up 27-0. Couldn't get it done. Now, do you see how they're blaming everybody? Now, to show you how this is funny, we've seen the stuff with Lamar and how the statistics matched up. Lamar was dealing with the worst fourth quarter defense in the entire NFL. He was having a defense that was giving up the most yards or most plays of 10-plus yards in the entire NFL. He was dealing with an O-line that was bottom 5 overall in the NFL. He was dealing with the most top 3 drops in the NFL. And he was dealing with the most or least contributed rushing game outside of him in the NFL. And you know what they told him? You still got to go out there and win. It doesn't make sense. When they were talking about the stuff about Lamar, saying that, the Ravens getting what they're worth of him, we brought up and we're like, watch, Herbert, Burrow, no matter how bad they're playing, they're going to make excuses. They're not going to hold them to the same standard. And the funny thing is that they rate these guys over Lamar. That's the funniest part. They say they're better throwers, better quarterbacks, better players. Remember, Herbert's a top 10 quarterback in the league. He's a top 10 player in the league. Is that what they said? So we're all seeing that they were all wrong. But to say that you don't even keep the same grading scale, you're not even trying to hide it. I will say this, at least Shannon ripped into him somewhat. Out of that whole panel, Shannon's the only one who was like, look, no excuses, because you know what's not brought up? Because someone brought this up to me on Twitter. I had to look at it to make sure it's true, and it's 100% true. Justin Herbert leads fourth quarter interceptions in the league since he's been in the league since 2020. You know that? He leads the entire league. That's a league with how much interceptions Josh Allen throws, how much interceptions Dak Prescott throws, how many interceptions that Zach Wilson throws. Bro, think about some of these interceptions for some of these quarterbacks. Jameis Winston, he leads them all in fourth quarter interceptions. I always try to tell you, certain players can look the part, but they can't hold weight. Look like Tarzan, play like Jane. And he plays like Jane when it comes down to crunch time and everybody sees it and knows it. He folds. Hey, listen, I stopped the Colin Cowherd video part because it just sickened me. You know what he said? Oh, he's a non-miss. He's smart. He's tall. He has a strong arm. He's deceptively athletic. If you heard him ringing off why he should succeed and why it's everybody else's fault except for what he's seeing, it's hysterical to me. It's hysterical. Lamar has been dealing with offensive woes, dealing with a coach that historically, since he's been in there, has had problems in the pass game. He's dealt with high rate of drops from his receivers. He's dealt with bad pass pro from his O-line. He's dealt with low production from his running backs. Still wins. And still the second highest scoring quarterback in the NFL. And you heard what they said. You heard what they said. So, to Stephen A., it's not like you needed your hairline to go up any further, but just in case you're looking for it to get any higher, oh! Slap it up, Piamon. Colin Cowherd over here talking about some, well, you know, there's college guys that I would take over Lamar Jackson. Black hand side! Oh! Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy that you guys delve in. I knew y'all weren't going to keep to y'all because we already know what it is. You guys get the clicks and stuff, and you don't mind tearing down his legacy or what he does. But my God, have some shame. Have some shame. Because Justin Herbert hasn't proved himself to be a top 5 quarterback, much less a top 7 quarterback in the league. In all intents and purposes, Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. And if I know some people's going to get, oh, I don't know about Dak though, Nitro. Go look up when they were all talking about Dak's woes, how he was collapsing in the ending of games. He was throwing interceptions and stuff like that. He was still going to the playoffs. And he had massive stats. Massive. Remember, that's years, 2 straight years, Dak threw for like 4,900 yards. And I'm just asking y'all this. If it's okay for Justin Herbert, why isn't it okay for Dak? Oh, you know I was going to go there. But what do you guys think? Am I tripping? Am I wrong for calling them out on their hypocrisy? Let me know down in the comments section, please. Please. I really want to know. And that's an episode of The Wunderkind Show! Thank you for watching. You know how we get down. We have fun and we laugh, but everything we talk about rooted in what? Facts and truth. Please do remember, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment. You don't love the comments. And if you have not done so already, check out The Wunderkind Show's Patreon. Yes. 3 tiers of content goodness waiting for your consumption. Give it a look. Give it a try. Let me know what you think. And the bottom of the screen is a QR code. If you want to donate to the channel, help with equipment and stuff like that, travel costs to go to out-of-state games and stuff, that's how you do it. Bottom of the screen, QR code. QR codes to a Cash App. Cash App is located in the description of every video that we do. And the name of it is called The Wunderkind Show. Super easy. But once again, it's The Wunderkind Show. Show's not just signing off. And as always, you know my slogan. Peace. And I am out of here. Yerp.